We know how good Nadal is when he's under pressure, but Federer doing just enough with the forehand to draw the error from the Spaniard. There hasn't been much variation in the tactics that Federer's tried to employ throughout the match. It's just been a case of not being able to maintain his lofty standards that he set in the opening set in terms of his execution. Fantastic stuff. The attempted drop shot from Nadal was pretty good, given the amount of pressure he was under. Federer moving very swiftly up the court, which bodes well for his chances.
He moved great on this ball. And look at the whip and the movement. That's just beautiful. That is such a hard shot, and he slides into it.
Useful tactics employed very successfully in that game by the top seed, who leads 2 games to 1.
And Roger Federer is trying to push this into a 5th set. We're early in the 4th. Nadal up 2 sets to 1. Federer has held serve a couple of times, and will be looking for the break in this next game. Don't forget about Hamburg. Our coverage of that starts tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. Eastern Time.
Nadal, of course, still very humble. He was asked after yesterday's victory over Gael Monfils whether he considered himself the best player on clay in the world at the moment. He said, last year I was. We won the French Open, but this year it's still all to play for. There's much to prove. And I think that's an excellent attitude to have. Yes, he's confident in his own ability, but he's not taking anything for granted. Brilliant. Federer has definitely raised the level of his game at the beginning of this 4th set. We're now seeing a lot of rallies like we saw in the opening set from the world number 1. But he simply has to start making the most of these half chances that he has when Nadal is serving. It's a lethal combination of shots from Nadal. He plays the big points so well.
That's the difference. That's why he has such a good record against Federer. No one else can play that way against Federer under pressure.
And whilst it's still doing damage, it's high percentage stuff. Not a lot on the first serve, but he gets an awful lot of them in. Yet to miss one in this fourth set. And then those forehands going 3 or 4 feet over the net and dropping 3 or 4 feet inside the lines, yet they're aggressive.
Well, that was more Federer-esque, and he's using the touch well today. And on a big point, he's able to come in and outfox Nadal. That's a big forehand, out of position, uncomfortably hit. Nadal, as you see, hits the right shot up the line, makes it more difficult on Federer, but he comes through.
Terrific athleticism for both players there. Finding it very difficult to maintain their balance under pressure, but still able to execute very difficult shots. Breakpoint Federer. Nadal, relentless in his pursuit of excellence on the big points. It's a couple of times now that he's outfoxed Federer with the big first serve.
You almost have to expect the unexpected from Nadal on big points.
Hasn't missed many of those today. Smiles in the Federer camp. They realise that world number one has definitely started to play a little better in this fourth set and is now starting to create chances. The key is to take them. Brilliant. The right shot at the right time. Nadal guilty of dropping the ball ever so slightly short of a good length, and Federer was able to pounce.
Well, this is great stuff in Rome. The fans getting everything they could have hoped for. And Federer raising the level of his game.
Shift in the momentum, this time in favor of the top seed. Federer could have put Nadal in hospital there, chose not to.
They wouldn't have to worry about him for the French Open.
You get the feeling that Federer would prefer the challenge of him being there. He's just missed it. Must have felt good, but Federer adamant that it was just wide. Good length on the return. But Nadal today hasn't been able to get as many cheap points off the Federer backhand as he has done previously when these two have met. Hasn't been able to keep as good a length as he would have wanted, and the backhand of Federer's has been a lot more solid. Terrific game from Federer, who's responded admirably to the loss of the third set. He's got a new lease of life. He leads 4-1.
Series event. Federer trying to push this to a fifth. Nadal trying to slow him down. 1-4, fourth set.
To do to try and reduce the arrears. One four. To do in the match so far. Linesman getting a few jeers, but it's not that easy at this time of the day when there's shadows cast across the court. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt anyway.
He's got to be careful. One break against Nadal isn't a huge lead.
better than that. But slightly easier to play when you're 40 love down, not under a great deal of pressure, but still lovely to watch.
Well, he's hit the drop well today. That ball with lots of underspin, and it checks up, and then it gets closer to the net. Nadal not running his hardest for that, knowing it's 40 love. Still having a couple more points to be able to hold.
Exquisite angle.
Crowd being treated to some perfect tennis from Federer right on this point, taking that backhand early. And when he's able to get his feet in position on the backhand wing, he can do a lot of damage. Well, that was just a bit too much of a move for Federer.
Staying within touching distance of Federer, but only just. Federer's been able to get the ball an awful lot deeper with the vast majority of his shots in this fourth set. It makes the world of a difference.
Reminds you a lot of the first set.
That serve has worked exceptionally well for him this afternoon. Not many players go as much to Nadal's strength when serving as Federer has done today, taking the Spaniard by surprise. It's one of the few volleys that haven't been executed to perfection, but surprisingly, Nadal not able to take advantage of it.
Yeah, Nadal's actually not moving as well in this set as he did in the previous two sets. Normally would do so much more with that ball. Surprising to see Nadal hit a poor shot.
I'm not so sure that he was slow getting up to it, but perhaps the choice of shot, certainly the execution of it, needed to be improved. Federer's had an awful lot of success when going back behind Nadal throughout this encounter. And the world number one now just 4 points away from taking us the distance.
Fifth in a tiebreak. Let's rejoin Jason Goodall and Doug Adler to see if Nadal can slow down the oncoming fifth set.
Nadal serving to stay alive in this fourth set. Fantastic stuff. Can't volley any better than he is this afternoon.
Particularly out of position, being able to take that volley off the forehand. Comes in on not a great shot, but that's the volley, just fully extended and able to have so much pace on the ball. Great wrist action and getting an easy reply from Nadal.
Nadal, it just looked a little sluggish with the footwork. So he was forced to stretch with that shot off balance. Great opportunity here for Federer. To be good. Federer anticipated the fact that he was going to attempt to use the drop shot. He was already moving up the court. Federer, having won 9 of the last 10 points, is rewarded with 3 set points.
Good response to save one.
15-4.
Deep, a wayward backhand. He's given Federer the 4th set. Disappointment for Nadal. He knows he can play better. And he's sure, I'm sure, that he needs to do an awful lot better than that if he needs to stand a chance of winning the match. Federer has indeed taken us the distance.
Federer with 12 winners in that 4th set. And Nadal, his worst set statistically, he had more unforced errors than winners. But I sort of got the feeling toward the end of that set, Nadal might have been pacing himself a little bit, not really that concerned at dropping the 4th, saving all his energy for the 5th. So if history tells us anything, this should be a very fun 5th set to watch, because these two will be laying it all on the line. And again, they are both scheduled to play this week in Hamburg. As Federer scheduled to play Schuttler and Nadal scheduled to play Tommy Haas. Got a question from Rob in Paradise Island, Bahamas about the Nadal first-round matchup in Hamburg. He's supposed to play Tommy Haas, and Rob was wondering why Haas would be playing Nadal in the first round. He thought Haas was having a better year. You're right, Rob. Haas is having a great 2006, but he did not have a very good year last year, and the rankings are based on 18 months. So his poor performance of last year is what is keeping his ranking down at the moment, and therefore he has some bad draws, like having to face Nadal in the first round of Hamburg. Here's confirmation of those 4th set stats. 12 winners for Federer, 10 unforced errors, and Nadal almost twice as many unforced errors as winners. But again, I think toward the end of that set, he wasn't pushing it as hard as he can. But I expect to see 100% from each player here in the 5th and final set to determine the winner of Rome. Jason Goodall, Doug Adler standing by.
Well, we said it would be a big momentum boost for Federer to break consecutive times. Now he needs to take advantage of that. To not take his foot off the accelerator.
Nadal caught a little deep behind his own baseline there, struggling to make half-decent contact with the ball because it was so low. Federer continues his successful advances into the net. Nadal feels that Federer's previous shot was just out, so no response to the drop shot. A little bit of exercise for Romano.
This shot.
Kept us all in suspense. With the point going Nadal's way in the end. Return too short. Playing right into Federer's hands when he drops that ball at the middle of the court.
Well, Federer's mixing the serve up well, and he's giving Nadal fits. The variation is getting a lot of short replies. Nadal is dropping the ball ever so shortly, and Federer is jumping on top of those. He's got his confidence restored.
For once, Nadal able to get the ball lower than the height of the net. But again, he did present Federer with a relatively easy forehand midway through the rally. World number one guilty, perhaps, of just not quite doing enough with the approach, although he did try and vary things. Instead of going inside out with the forehand, going to Nadal's weaker ground stroke. Didn't pay off for him. Federer a little fortunate to get away with that point. Nadal knows that was a golden opportunity after that initial tentative volley from Federer.
Absolutely. You don't see him lose that many points when he has those opportunities. But once again, Federer guessing right and putting himself in position to win the point.
Really good opening service game. Federer looking supremely confident and striking the ball very sweetly indeed. This is a severe test for the defending champion.
Yeah, well, he is hitting the ball better than Nadal right now, and off of both sides. The backhand, which was weak for a while, has really stepped up, and Nadal is now having trouble breaking down any side of Federer, and therefore Nadal's balls are landing short. It's amazing that these guys have played We're close to 4 hours. We're in the 5th set. No double faults from either player. Under pressure, serving a lot of times. That last game, Federer having to serve at deuce. Nadal certainly having to serve in critical times, but their serves haven't faltered. And Nadal, hoping his serve doesn't falter here.
Balls will travel through the air just that little bit quicker. So they do tend to be advantageous for the server, but equally so if the returner can put good length on his reply, then he has an opportunity to take advantage of the new balls too. Tony Roach has got to be delighted with the way Federer has responded in the latter stages of this match. So far, couldn't really have asked for anything more from his charge. It's been a while since Nadal's been able to hold serve as comfortably as that. Honours even. Early stages of the deciding set.
Yeah, Federer broke Nadal those last 2 service games in that 4th set. So it was important for Nadal to get back on the board with the serve and reestablish himself.
One of the fundamental differences as far as Federer is concerned in his performance today opposed to that which we saw in the final of Monte Carlo has been the effectiveness of that first serve.
Missed the forehand, but in Monte Carlo he got 60% of first serves in. Today it's similar, 62%, but in the Principality he was only winning 63% of points. Today, 78%. So it's been an awful lot better, and that's certainly helped his cause. And love another first one right here.
Because he's been able to introduce the forehand into the rally much earlier because the serve has been more effective. And Nadal has been forced to drop the ball short on the return. Sensible shot selection from Nadal, going back behind Federer. As the match moves into its 5th hour, there's still very little to choose between these two.
That's been his answer to every question posed by Nadal today.
Nadal thwarted once more as he attempts to break Federer's serve. World number 1 with a slender lead, 2-1.
Into the 5th set now on serve. Jason Goodall, Doug Adler standing by as Nadal gets ready to serve at 1-2.
Federer really going for his shots now. He's confident, as we've spoken about, and that backhand volley has been so solid all day long.
But again, he's left with a relatively simple shot with which to win the point because the quality of the approach shot was superb. Nadal simply has to stick to his guns. He's got to be aggressive with the forehand. He's got to try and stop Federer dictating the vast majority of points, as he did in the 2nd and 3rd sets. That's more like it. Whenever either Nadal or Federer has the ascendancy in the rally, the opposition finds it very, very difficult to win the point. Therefore, it's so important to get the first hit in each and every rally. Nail-biting stuff for Uncle Tony. That's cheap.
And Federer hasn't been missing those returns. That's why he's been able to break serve. The backhand has really been able to come through.
Brilliant. What a lovely combination. It's a simple tactic, but he's been able to execute it perfectly. Appreciated by one and all in the crowd.
Yeah, Dr. Zhivago liked that one. Omar Sharif, great actor. And this is no act, this volley. It's purely perfect.
I thought you'd appreciate Omar Sharif. He was more your generation, wasn't he, Doc?
Thank you so much.
Superb. Again, refusing to step behind the baseline, taking each and every one of those shots on the rise, giving Nadal very little time to recover, keeping exceptionally good length, and then choosing the right moment to flatten out the shot. No chance for Nadal to respond. Break point for Federer. History repeats itself. Federer has broken Nadal at the same stage in sets 1, 4, and 5. The Swiss flag is flying high.
Now he's got to keep his foot on the accelerator, cannot let up. Nadal's become tentative, and I think losing those 2 service games in the 4 sets set him back.
He certainly hasn't been as effective when returning Federer's serve, partly because the variation that the world #1 has used when he stepped up to the line today has been quite superb. And it's given him the confidence to be able to execute other shots that, generally speaking, aren't quite as natural for him to play. But now playing some wonderful tennis.
Yeah, we don't typically see him look that natural on this surface, but it's more like now the Federer we see and we're accustomed to seeing on grass and hard courts. The surface not affecting him at all.
Nadal knows that he has to respond sooner rather than later. We expect nothing less.
Absolutely. He's going to get tougher now.
Disappointment for Nadal. Did exceptionally well to get that serve back in play as deep as he did.
It was almost an ace, and there was nothing Federer could do with the return. But the unforced error from Nadal at that stage.
It's only the second on his forehand in this deciding set. Federer with a chance to extend his lead. it takes to win this title. Did so in 57 and 61. Federer, a runner-up, of course, a couple of years ago, 2003. Attempting to go one better today. Good length on the second serve, but a really positive move by Nadal. Running around the backhand, making good use of his favourite forehand.
Absolutely, on a big point, knowing he needs to hit the forehand, made sure he got to hit the forehand and did damage with it.
Oh, he's missed it, it's deep. He'll want confirmation. Nadal's found the mark. It's a couple of inches long, but Federer wants Romano Grillotti to take a closer look.
Dove è andata la palla, cazzo? Not the second. Not the second. No, no. It's this one.
Well, Romano's giving Nadal a heart attack there. He wasn't even close to the ball. He could not find it. And Nadal was going nuts. Federer now obviously confused.
Was out before.
The ball was clearly long, there's no doubt about it, but Romano confused the issue by not going straight to the mark. Federer facing break point. Another phenomenal serve.
But Federer's made it so difficult on himself this game. Up 40-15, seemingly going to go ahead 4-1, but no, Nadal never gives up, and Federer has to be ready for the response.
Another very good approach shot. By the sword occasionally, you're going to die by it. He's got to keep aggressive, he's got to keep going close to the lines. Occasionally it means that he's going to gift Nadal a cheap point. Question is the defending champion going to be able to make the most of those opportunities? Federer's first ace of this deciding set. Brilliant from Federer. Had the courage to stay up the court, take the ball early.
And didn't press, waited for his opportunity. He got it, and he made it. Coming in, just taking his time. Easy work.
Tried to be a bit too cute. Federer staving off a couple of break points to eventually hold and increase his lead, which is 4-1, deciding set.
Well, Roger Federer is 2 games away from claiming this Rome title for the first time in his career and stopping Rafael Nadal's clay court win streak at 52. Can he do it? Nadal serves at 1-4 in the 5th.
Defending champion with it all to do. 1-4. Nadal is definitely attempting to pump himself up now. He knows that if he doesn't do something soon, the match will be gone. Much to admire in that service game. Nadal holding serve to love. But it's still Federer with a distinct advantage.
But Nadal trying to show that energy, that positive energy, to make Federer think that he's ready to come at him.
Just lifted his head a little bit. The tension obvious. Got the time to lose feel on that forehand. He did so towards the business end of the second set, and it cost him. Nadal tidying his game up nicely at the moment. Very few unforced errors. Federer did well, but that was another golden opportunity for Nadal.
Gone awry, but when Federer gets to the net today, he's so calm. Based on the fact he's been so effective at the net, he knows it, Nadal knows it, and that's why Federer continues to have success at the net.
Found the first serve time and time again today when he's needed it most. That one had a little more pace on it, and it was inch perfect in terms of the accuracy. Brilliant. Couldn't have played the point any better.
Unbelievable second serve. Nadal running around the forehand, but so far out of position, so Federer gets the short ball. He can go up the line, which is what he does, and then the confidence to make the low volley and end the point. Concentration, open racket face, perfect.
Well, this now a monumental game. There's no doubt about the fact that Tony Roach will be well aware of the fact that Nadal has definitely raised the level of his game. And is now starting to take the game to Federer.
And it's all because he's moving and trying to hit forehands. He's not letting Federer find his backhand.
Brilliant. It was Federer for once that dropped the ball short, allowing Nadal to take the ascendancy.
Nadal doing everything he can with heavy topspin and really making that ball hop high.
Chance for Nadal to get right back in this deciding set. Federer paid the price for not making enough first serves in that game. We expected a response from Nadal. It's come. And we've now got a match in our hands. We're back on serve, deep in this deciding set. Federer leads 4-3.
One is quite a drama, and it is an instant classic. Nadal's won the last 2 games, and we're back on serve in the 5th and final set. Finals of Rome.
Three, 4. Both players have responded exceptionally well on serve when they've needed to. That's Nadal's first ace of this deciding set, only his 4th in the match so far.
shot making, particularly from Federer. Don't know how he got to that drop shot. Don't know how he made that backhand, but he did. And then the forehand to end the point.
We always hope that both players will be able to play their very best tennis towards the business end of a match of this importance. So it's proved. Nadal with the courage to be aggressive with the forehand, even though he knew if he missed that shot, he'd be facing break point. Both of these two certainly aren't afraid to pull the trigger on the most important points in the match. One of the few cheap points Federer has given Nadal on the return of serve. Generally speaking, he's been outstanding in that department in the last hour and a half or so.
Federer doing well to take his time, using good depth, and keeping Nadal pinned back in the court.
Tony Roach can hardly bear to watch.
He was a lot more relaxed earlier today when I saw him before the match.
He knows that this would be a huge step forward as far as Federer is concerned. Sure, he also knows that there's still an awful lot of work to be done.
Nadal just keeping the pressure on Federer, serving at 83% first serves in this fifth set, giving Federer a look on second balls.
Phenomenal forehands from Nadal.
One of the few times in the entire match that Nadal has actually hit a clean passing shot when Federer's come in, and what a time to do it.
Federer's volley couldn't have been much better. Nadal anticipated the fact that's where he was going to attempt to win the point. Got into a good position early on to be able to use his favourite forehand. Four games all. Both these guys just going toe to toe. It's incredible stuff. Federer continues to impress with his forays into the net. 77% of points won at the net.
Well, he looks like a gladiator. The only difference is this isn't the Coliseum. This is a tennis court.
But it's so important to come in behind an effective approach. Nadal now starting to get 1 or 2 second bites at the cherry, and it's making a huge difference.
And he's doing much better returning the Federer serve. As soon as he sensed that he might be out of this match, he took it up a notch.
It's an ambitious shot, but few would doubt his ability to make it, given what we've witnessed on this particular surface over the last 12 months. His total and utter dominance of the opposition. 30-all.
That ball. He's been making every return.
Real let-off for Federer. Cheap points at this stage in the match, like gold dust. Federer didn't mean the backhand to be that effective in terms of the angle that he created, but got the job done. And the top seed moves to within 4 points of victory. 5-4, final set.
As every game is so important now. One slip up from Nadal and he is out. Nadal serves to stay in the championship at 4-5 in the 5th.
To stay in the match. Four-5, final set.
The all-important first point going to Federer.
A little bit late on the shot, didn't quite get the feet in the right position.
And dropped the return too short.
He's got to try and do enough with the return. So Nadal cannot dictate play with the forehand.
Translation.
was a lovely combination of shots early on in the rally from Federer, attempting to mix things up with the heavily sliced backhand. Just coming up on the ball on the final forehand. Nadal making no mistake with the forehand.
Well, he got Federer out of position, and even Tony can laugh at that one. Even though you know inside he's feeling a lot of tension.
It's a pattern of play that Nadal likes to use over and over, and he's able to do so because the quality of the first serve and then the swift footwork thereafter, which allows him to use his favorite forehand to such great effect. Nadal very swiftly back on level terms.
Well, at this stage of the game, you take anything you can get. And at least Federer gets to serve with new balls. They'll be a little livelier. Hopefully he can take advantage of it.
No surprises, really. Each competitor knows exactly what the other is going to try and do. It's very much a case at this stage in the match of holding your nerve. No call from the linesman. Federer feels the ball was definitely long. Nadal wants Romano just to have a slightly closer look. Confirmation.
Like before, it's too clear.
But the ball was deep. It's clearly long.
Well, you sense that the crowd is behind Federer in this match. Whenever Nadal does something a little bit off kilter, they give him a few boos here and there.
Used that serve so well today. Inch perfect each and every time. Nadal has found it very, very difficult to deal with. Federer moves to within 4 points of victory with another comprehensive service game. Nadal with it all to do.
Again, Nadal serving to stay in the championship and force a tiebreak for the second consecutive year.
Nadal with just one more service game to hold to take the match to the deciding set tiebreak. 5-6. It's a nervous start.
And particularly when he hasn't missed any forehands for such a long time. That forehand has been doing great damage to Federer.
serve your first double fault of the match.
That's amazing. After playing for almost 5 hours, the first double fault. Couldn't have come at a worse time.
Is that a look of resignation on the face of Uncle Tony? Federer just 2 points away from victory. Cagey point from Nadal. He simply couldn't afford to be as aggressive as he would have wanted. So that's a little bit of a let-off. A wasted opportunity for Federer.
Federer could have been more aggressive at that point, though. He had a couple short balls, elected not to come forward.
Federer backhand holds up to intense scrutiny. Nadal falters. After 4 hours and 50 minutes of compulsive viewing, Federer with championship point. The chance was there. At least they can smile. The forehand has worked so well for Federer. Nadal desperate for a cheap point, but Federer here with a chance to make amends. Second championship point.
Nadal handling the pressure just so much better than Federer.
It's amazing that forehand has looked so solid for such a long time in the fourth and fifth sets in particular. And when he needed it most, it wasn't there for him. 2 match points saved. Brilliant recovery by Nadal on the forehand side midway through that rally.
Went from defense, extreme defense, to offense, and Federer not taking his chances, playing cautious tennis, and for him that just doesn't work.
Not against Nadal, not on a clay court. Opportunity for the defending champion to take us into a final set tiebreak. Unbearable tension here. Last year's final went the distance. We didn't think lightning could strike twice in the same place. But it has. A tiebreak will indeed decide matters here at the Foro Italico.
Now at least he gets the first serve in when he needs to. That stops the bleeding temporarily.
Federer played a flawless tiebreak in the opening set. Missed a crucial forehand which cost him the second. Looked a little shaky.
Snatched at that forehand. It was short. It was rather easy. But the result was poor.
I thought that ball was good initially from our vantage points. Federer thinks that he's found the mark. Romano will be called into action once more.
Inside the court. No, the ball was inside the court here.
I agree with Romano. I think the ball was inside the line. Federer thinks, though, that it was deep of the baseline.
Even that is good. But even this is good. Yeah, but even that is at the line.
Well, Federer in disagreement with the umpire, but unfortunately his opinion doesn't count as much as Romano's. But I agree with the umpire. I thought the ball was inside the line. And TMI confirms it. Good decision by the umpire. The point will be replayed. One apiece. Brilliant. Courageous tactics from Federer. To perfection.
Well, he's going to go down swinging one way or the other, and that forehand's going to win or lose the match for him. And here it comes through.
Ending the point with a relatively simple volley because the quality of the approach shot was fantastic.
And when it hits, it's just exploding today.
Brilliant.
It looked like Federer had control of the point. But Nadal, never out of the point, is able to readjust his body and hit a beautiful pass that catches Federer going the wrong way.
You simply cannot afford to give Nadal a second bite at the cherry. Back on serve. Flawless for him.
Well, if you're Nadal, you think back to the second set when you were behind 4-2 in that tiebreak, and that gives you some impetus to think you can still come back here.
And Federer did exceptionally well on that last point, because one of the early shots from Nadal actually hit the service line and kicked up viciously. But he was able to make the adjustment, got a little fortunate, the ball clipping the top of the net, and eventually won the point as the match moves into its 6th hour. This is a must-win point for the defending champion. Brutal forehand, tough to execute. The ball stayed dangerously low after Federer's heavily sliced backhand. So easy to mistime that ball with a full Western grip when you're generating that much racket head speed.
So easy to hit the ball in the net when the ball stays that low, but Nadal doesn't do that.
Federer with a slender lead. 2 serves to come. A wild forehand from Nadal. You don't see that very often, especially such a crucial moment in a match.
We've been talking about the nerves of Federer blowing those 2 match points, but now Nadal, seemingly in position, loses a forehand.
Just contacted the ball ever so slightly late. Federer 2 points away. Well, he had to take the ball on. Stuck to his guns, moved up the court, took the ball on the rise. Generally speaking, it's a tactic that's worked well for him.
Just rushed at that 1 split second. That's why the ball caught the tape.
Even though we're back on serve, Nadal still with it all to do. Once Nadal had the ascendancy in the rally, he simply refused to let up, eventually drawing the error from Federer. after some brutal forehands. Five points each. You can count the amount of cheap points that Federer's given Nadal off the return of serve throughout the match, really, on one hand. Especially in this deciding set. What an inopportune moment for Federer's backhand to fail him. Federer, remembers, already had those 2 match points in the 12th game of this deciding set. Both were squandered. And after 5 hours and 4 minutes, it's Nadal with championship point. He's done it. His 5th victory in 6 meetings with the world #1 and his 3rd this season.